Observations, points, things that, okay, little light bulbs. This is maybe a very, very significant problem, would you not imagine, in certain circumstances? Can you add to it a little bit?
Well, it's always, being on the behavior team when staff come to you, it's just, oh, they don't listen, oh, they are rude, oh, they don't pay attention. But yes, you need more of that concrete. So what are they doing? What do they do when they're not paying attention?
By all means, and you also need data on how problematic it is. What data do you have to show me here? What helps me understand the extent of the problem? Because you want to understand it so that you know exactly what the child is doing. In this case, this child is hitting. But you know what? You want more. You want data from the teacher. You want data that says he hits his ears with his open hands. Now I'm getting a picture. And guess what? That's not even enough. You want to know more. You want to know exactly what the behavior is. You want to know how that's expressed. You want to know how often it happens. And, anything else you can tell me about it. Well, he does it for 2 to 3 minutes. You're getting a lot better handle on what this hitting behavior of this child. And it looks a lot different than you ever could imagine without this information. So the teacher not just describes it to you very specifically, but provides this kind of information. Wouldn't that be a wonderful world if they came to the team with information like this? And guess what? There's a little bit more. This really helps, doesn't it? Now I know that I must work hard on helping with this problem, because it's really, the magnitude of it is rather significant, isn't it? Now, why might a child be doing something like that? That's the next challenge now. Why might a child be doing something like this? What kinds of things are floating around your mind right now? I'm sure you're an educator, you've great experience with children. What's going on here? You're listening to the teacher talk about this. What kinds of little, thoughts and what is this child doing? Is it because this? Is it because that? Is it because this? What thoughts are yours? The child what is going on? The child is communicating something. Now, we'd love to know more. Who is this child? Is this Susan? Well, it could be Susan, right? Now, what might Susan be saying? She is really telling us something, and it's causing the teacher a great deal of distress. What is it that is going on? And you don't kind of do a knee-jerk reaction, send the child to the library or something like that during that time, and to stop in the library. That is not dealing with it, right? Sending the child to recess, sending the child to the play center, sending little Susan off to play. That won't deal with it, right? And I'm aware of the schedule, and lunch schedule and everything. Is it that time? I wonder, are we all right?
Why don't you do another couple slides?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. You tell me and I'll be very helpful. I'll stop anytime. So now, you all see the seriousness of this, right? You totally need to describe the problem. And you need to have some kind of thesis in your head. Why is this going on? Now, you're going to go in there and do the next thing. The next thing is, what are the events and circumstances around this? Does this child do it in the morning? Does this child do it all day long? Is there any pattern here? Is it only during difficult abstract tasks? Is there any logic to when it is happening? What are the events and circumstances that bring about this behavior? That is the next step. So there are 6 easy steps in this, and if your forms don't help you see the logic, at least you yourself know that you're describing the problem, you're looking at the environment around the problem, really describing it, by the way. How serious is it, and all of those kinds of things. Then you're talking about what is it that might explain this? You're grappling. Why is this happening? Is there something going on that could make any sense of this? Okay? So what are the events, what are the circumstances that bring about the setting variables, right? Because I would like to imagine that there's something going on that makes a whole lot of sense. It's a matter of spending time so that we'll understand what it is. Now, thus we understand this whole ABC connection. This antecedent is happening to cause this behavior, and this behavior is causing this consequence. Okay, now? So the third step here is, now you're getting the idea of function. And fill in the little spots that need to be filled in. What is this behavior telling us? Susan is hitting her ears with her open hands, and she's hurting herself. She's actually causing herself to be injured, right? What is this telling us? That is where, keep in your minds that behavior happens to get something or to avoid something. And it could be external or internal. And you and I, this is just a way to tell us in a very nutshell kind of way, some way to help us think about. But don't let that put a kind of a false glass ceiling on your hypothesis. I would imagine, what about a child who might have a hearing aid adjustment need? Possible? Totally. Little one with the glasses. She could be doing this because she's not seeing and she wants to hear, and it's just not all coming together for her. Wouldn't it be awesome if it were that simple? And all it takes is time to really think, because that would be such easy solutions. So the child is doing this behavior, engaging in this behavior for a purpose. And keep in your mind that there's a function being accomplished. Also, back to that earlier, we talked about this one earlier. There's another way to conceptualize it. Simply, the same idea. What is the behavior providing for this child? It's providing attention, at least maybe the hope that the teacher will solve it. At least I'm showing the teacher that I have a problem. Maybe the teacher will help me. You know, I'm showing that I have a problem. I'm getting attention. I need help. You know, sensory. Just imagine the combination of deafness and autism. Amazing combination. And wonderful children who need our understanding. Their sensory needs are significant. And what is it that they can be given to help them deal with their sensory needs? Avoiding and escaping. That could be the academic task idea. This child is not able to do the assignment. And will do this kind of behavior because, will engage in that kind of behavior because, you know what? I do not understand. And instead of being able to articulate, I need help, the child might be doing this behavior. All of those possibilities. So that helps us to understand every behavior that you see, you can hypothesize that it has a purpose and it has a function. So it's a matter of trying to understand what is the purpose and what is the function. Now, we do the things we do for our very own reasons. Do we all have strange things we do because and nobody else does them, possibly? Do we? I wonder, are we all quite, what do we think? Could you give me an example, something unusual, that we do the things we do for a reason, We do the things we do for a reason, and it's our reason, and it's a real important thing to us. So keep that in mind, and maybe we'll pick up after a little bit of food. Fair enough? Thank you very much. Thank you.